Um, so first, 30 minutes. Let me go through the syllabus what we are going to learn, and we'll start from the supplier management. Um, Let me know if you're able to see my screen. Please confirm.
We got you.
Yes, Sumant, are you able? Everybody, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, um, in this entire session, so I have just compiled it up the syllabus. What are all the area we are going to cover? Let me open the table of contents. So these are all the content that I'm going to cover in this session, like entire Ariba cloud solution, including upstream, downstream, and SAP Business Network and CAG. How CAG is connecting in S4. How what are all the configurations we are doing. So we will see the basic introduction about what is Ariba, why we call them as on cloud or on demand, and what is S4, why it is on premise, and what is the difference between Ariba versus SAP MM. SAP MM is also a procurement tool, and how what is the key highlights between both of them, because both of SAP products. So I'll give this high level intro, and after that, module by module, we will be covering. Like supplier management is one entire module wherein we have SIPM, SLP, and supplier risk. um, Customers will opt always SLP, because SLP is having only SLP is only having this supplier qualification and preferred supplier management. SIPM is not having those features. So because of that feature, most of the customers opting SLP module. So we will look into it. So it is kind of 1:3 ratio, like 1% we will see. I mean, one time, like end to end functional thing, we will look into it. After that, three times what are the configurations we have done in the backend, we will see that, because each and every function will have a backend configurations, some settings or some admin activities. So we will look into it. So why I'm giving the functional test, because if you do not know the functional process, you will not be able to understand the requirement, and you will not be able to develop or design something. So all the processes, I'll give you 30 minutes. For example, 30 minutes if I'm giving functional process, then rest 1.5 hour will be taken by the technical things for each and every module. In the supplier management, supplier request, registration, qualification, preferred suppliers, and modular questionnaire and templates and admin activity, and what are the parameters we are enabling, and reporting related things, we will be looking into the um, like in supplier management module. Let's say if I take Ariba supplier management, so we have a functional process is creating supplier request. So once we create the supplier request, we will go for the registration. After registration, we will go for the qualification, and after qualification, we will make them as a preferred supplier. Then we'll go for the, we use them for sourcing activity or contract activity. So supplier management module is associating to create sourcing projects and contracts. Suppliers are required. After that, supplier performance. So we use this supplier performance just to manage the supplier's activity. I mean, I have created the supplier, I have done sourcing, I have created the contract. I wanted to check their performance either quarterly basis or half yearly basis. So how we manage this supplier performance, and how we configure some template activities and all in the KPIs, how we configure KPI, and how can we make the content in the library and all. We will look that. So these two are the functional area in the supplier management. If I say custom admin task, those tasks will be in the manage SM administration. In SM administration, we do the configuration activities. So we have data import or export. We have around 10 to 15 files to load manually, and what is the file type and how can be loaded. So we will look these things, and what is default field value, purpose of default field value, and what, like, how we create this default field value, ERP integrations, integration status, why do we use mass invite. So these are all something admin activity, and some config parameters. So these things we will look. So this is something technical behind. And after this we have a template. So in the templates, if you go to templates, we have project templates specific to supplier management. A supplier request template, supplier registration template, qualification template, performance management template, modular questionnaire templates. We will look those templates. So those things I'll be covering in the supplier management module. Apart from this integration scenario, so after completing this activity in Ariba Cloud, how those suppliers are being integrated into S4 system. So we need this CAG. So we will look this CAG, how integration projects have been created, and how system cloud system is being integrated to S4 system. So what do we do in the my configurations? How new projects can be created? What is mapping, and what is cross reference, and what is the purpose of custom routing, and why do we need transaction tracker? What activity we do check in the transaction tracker? So we will check this. We will look this CAG area. So then after supplier management, so we would have done the functional activity creating suppliers. We use the supplier to create the sourcing request or sourcing project. So here I am taking two sourcings, one is classical and other one is guided sourcing. So if I go to Ariba, I'm not sure whether we have guided sourcing. Yeah, we have guided sourcing also. So for you is guided sourcing dashboard. So it will take us to guided sourcing view. So this is guided sourcing user interface. So we will create one sourcing project and sourcing request in guided sourcing, as well as create sourcing request and sourcing project in classical sourcing. So these two functionalities will have a multiple execution strategies, either RFI or RFP, or auction, either it is forward auction or reverse auction. Apart from this functionality, we do have some customization. So if you go to admin, in the administration we have a customization manager. So here we had enumerations. So what is the purpose of enumeration, what are all the activity we do in the enumerations, we will look this. And apart from these enumerations, intelligent configuration manager. So here we have some sourcing parameters. So if you open this, let me continue. So this is intelligent configuration manager. The separate web page will open. So here in the sourcings and contracts, we have specific parameters related to sourcing and contracts, as well as supplier, few parameters for supplier management, and field configurations. So what is the field configuration? How custom fields are being created and mapped. What is the purpose of custom field? And what is the difference between standard field versus custom field. So if I create something in the sourcing request or sourcing project, we will have a header data. I'm just giving high level. So these are all the header level data, and here we will get the templates. So these templates we will be configuring. We will be preparing the templates, but this is header level field. So here we have standard field or customized field. How this field is became mandate, and how this field is getting default name, and how description, what are the character limitations for the description, how this field is getting dropped down. This is not related to template, this is related to field configuration. So those field configurations can be found in this field in intelligent configuration manager. So here under field configurations we have a separate fields, so we can download the specific field whichever we are taking, and we can look into the field data. So this we will be covering in the technical side. And after customization, field configuration, we always also create the project for sourcing, creating integration project for supplier management, creating integration project for sourcing. So we have three products to create integration project. When you create integration project, we have Ariba network, Ariba procurement, and Ariba sourcing. So if you're doing SLP sourcing or contract activity, we select Ariba sourcing as a product, and we go for the connections building the project. So this may be for sourcing, or this may be for SLP, or this may be for the contract, depends on the business process. So after that, so how we create the entire sourcing project, we will look into it. And later, mm, one second, yes. So these are all sourcing activities and sourcing template and customization manager, and required master data for this sourcing activity. Let's say in the sourcing we have region, department, commodity. So these three all the master data which is in Ariba. So where do we get this master data? And commodity, how commodity can be managed. So where we can manage the commodity, I mean commodity code manager. So in the administration, how commodity code can be managed, so we have a commodity code manager. And how the new commodity code can be created, and what is UNSPC commodity code, what is custom commodity code, what is the purpose of UNSPC, how can we create the new commodity code. So these things we will look into the technical fact. Other than this, for sourcing, so that's all in the sourcing. And templates, many templates can be created. So sourcing project, we have a full project or quick project. So if it is quick project, we will create separate sourcing project for RFI or for RFP or for auction. And if it is full project, we will go for the entire full sourcing project. And what are the conditions we are using, we have so many conditions to create the projects. So we will look those conditions. And also some rules, we will create some rules, timing rule, bidding rule, open market auctions, and envelopes. So what is envelope? So some event rules, so these are all the event rules. So we will look those rules, how do we configure the rules, and what rules can be hidden, what rules can be delegated to users in the backend. We will look those activities in sourcing. After that, contract management. In the contract management, how do we create contract request, and how do we create contract workspace, what is the difference between contract terms and contract compliance, and how contract based invoices have been created. So these are all the functional activity. And configuration is in the backend, how contract templates can be created in the system. Apart from that, in the admin activity, we have a subscription manager. So that in the downstream, so we will look that, because contract complaints will come in the downstream for generated subscriptions. So we will look that how contract complaints is used. So, and difference between parent site and child site. What is parent realm and what is, I mean, what is parent and what is child? Why we have two different sites? And both the sites can be controlled. Parent side can be controlled in the administration level, child side can be controlled in the core admin, because we are using child sites for buying and invoicing activity. So here we will get the contract manager. In this contract manager, we have a generated subscription. So if the feature is enabled for generated subscription, we can use the contracts to create the contract based invoices or contract based PO, PRs. So we will look those things in the contract level. After that, so these three areas are upstream activities, and the downstream is for only procure to pay. I mean buying and invoicing. So here we will see buying and invoicing is something creating transactional data using a master data. So we need to know how master data are being created. I mean how master data are being integrated to SAP to Ariba. So what are all the master data elements we have? Accounting elements, purchase organization, company code. If it like accounting elements, GL account, cost centers. So these master data objects we need to know, and users. Who are all the procurement users? How users can be created and managed? How business roles can be provided for the specific users or user groups? And after that, entire P2P life cycle. Then some activity in core admin. I'm especially in buying and invoicing. We have again commodity code manager to know about partition commodity codes, and supplier manager to view partition suppliers and suppliers activities, and importantly catalog manager, how we configure the catalogs. So what are all the catalog views? How can we set up the catalog validation rules? How can we import the catalogs? So if our site is having access to import catalog, we will be able to import new catalogs, and how catalog kits can be compiled with specific, how to create new catalogs, setting up the catalog rules, and maintaining the generated subscription contract based catalogs. So these things, and if any specific schedules task required for the catalog, we will configure these scheduled tasks. So these activity and P2P manager. So in the P2P manager, we will look how to configure invoice exception types, and how to configure receiving types, and I mean receiving types by commodity or by part number, and some other configurations related to invoicing tax components. If system is configured with Ariba tax code, then we need to maintain the tax codes and tax code lookup files. So these catalog manager, commodity code manager, supplier manager, and P2P manager. So these area we will be looking. After that, we have approval processes, and these all something basic to set up email notification managers. And forms, we don't use forms and extensions mostly in downstream, because custom forms can be created and utilized in guided buying. So, and customization manager also, we don't usually keep enumerations for downstream activities. Only for upstream we use these enumerations. Approval process lookup table may use, but these lookup tables also can be configured in the approval processes. So if you go to manage approval processes, so we will create new approval processes for the specific process. It may be requisition or GR or IR or invoice, anything. The approval process can be created here. So we will look this approval process activity. I mean apart from P2P functional cycles. Then these are all the activity we do in the core admin, and in again we have intelligent configuration management in the core admin also. If you go to core admin in the child site, we have intelligent configuration manager. So here what I have opened, the intelligent configuration manager is something for sourcing and contracts. If I open intelligent configuration manager in child site, if I open this, it will have only buying and invoicing. So in this buying and invoicing, required parameters for the specific functions and field configurations. So how fields have been created. I mean, how custom fields have been created and configured, and what is PR header level field, and how like whether how many type of PR fields we have, and how it can be converted into PO. What all the field need to be viewed in the PO. So these things we will look into it. And apart from this, there is nothing. And reporting is for end to end. So we have three type of reports: analytical report, compound report, and public report, I mean pre-packaged report. So those reporting activities we will see in one session, about what all the pre-packaged reports we do have, and what is compound report and analytical reports. So those things we will see in the reportings, I mean between these two, public and pre-packaged. Then if I go back, guided buying. So guided buying is something functions remain same, but this is specifically introduced for non-procurement professionals. They can feel looks like Amazon kind of B2C. So, but functionals remain same, but some configurations we do in the guided buying. So we will see that guided buying activities, like how we create the custom forms, and how the requisitions can be created, and what are all the validation rules we have, and how we create landing pages, tiles, and how some users, what is the difference between guided buying users and Ariba old user interface, I mean both the users. So these things we will look into the guided buying. So these up to six, these all so these are all for Ariba Cloud Solution. Whatever we have seen is for Ariba Cloud Solution. We haven't gone outside apart from this Ariba Cloud. I mean within CAG and Intelligent Configuration Manager and Ariba Cloud. Now, after these things, we need to know about business network. So business network is something, two network. One is buyer.ariba.com. If you just type buyer.ariba.com as a URL, one SAP business network will be, the login page will be visible to log in into the buyer sign in. So this is for buyer sign in. And if I open supplier.ariba.com, so it will be opening supplier sign in. So this is for supplier account, this is for buyer account, which is in the same SAP business network. So this is also business network, and this is also business network. So we need to know the SAP business network, some basics of the business network, and what is supplier grouping, what is enablement, what is the purpose of doing trading relationship. So about supplier membership program fees, what is standard account, what is enterprise account. So those things we will be looking into it, the business network. And after that, CAG. So we will be looking integration scenarios session by session. Like if I am completing SLP, I'll share SLP integration activities, and what are the configurations we do in SLP, uh, what are the SPRO level activities we do in the SLP. So for CAG, so those things I will be sharing, and some specific functional consultant SPRO configurations in S4 system. So this area will be like this area I will be covering in the upcoming sessions. Um, Anybody have any questions, um, guys? Anybody have any questions?
Uh, uh, Manoj, do you have any flow diagram kind of thing which depicts the complete Ariba flow process
Yes,
for
yes,
an
yes. That
overview?
one process flows. I will show the process flow, but about syllabus, I'm just asking. So flow, I mean when you're going into the process, I will show the Ariba flows, end-to-end flows. So we have product by product, we have a flow. So our end-to-end process flow, let me open Ariba procurement once again. So this is entire Ariba cloud.
Okay.
One second, let me change the view. View. So this is entire modules which we are going to learn. So this is entire Ariba cloud solutions. For supplier management, we have SLP, supplier risk, or SIPM. Anything we can use. And what are all the features we have in the supplier management module. And spend analysis, something another module. So here we will be looking strategic sourcing and contract management. So sourcing features, RFI, RFP auctions, and sourcing scenarios and complex projects for sourcing activity. Contracts, contract repositories, clauses, libraries, and how the contract is integrating with downstream. So downstream we have many solutions: supply chain collaborations, commerce automation, or only invoicing. So, but here we are going to learn this buying and invoicing module, not Comato, not SEC, or not direct material sourcing. So, end-to-end buying and invoicing module along with guided buying capability. So, this is high-level flow of cloud solution. So, let me open another one. So, in the buying and invoicing we will see this buying and invoicing, I mean invoicing management, including invoicing management, buying, catalog, and account payment, how it is been processing, and guided buying, PRPO, and invoices for end to end in the downstream. So this is something high level flow of the Ariba solutions, cloud solutions. So these are all the cloud solutions and how it is being integrated with the system. Let me show the flow. So this is how PRPO have been connected with HANA. So what is the process? So we have separate business processes: requisition processing, PO processing, PO integration, GR processing, GR integration, and invoice processing, invoice integration. So we have around six type of process of end-to-end buying and invoicing. So this flow, this is for P2P flow, how master data are flowing into Ariba solution, and how Ariba solutions are sending purchase order to the business network, and how invoices are being integrated to ERP and payment process. So this message flow from these three, I mean, we have many integrations, like how the message flows between ERP and between cloud, and how we are configuring the specific approval flows. So these flowcharts I will be sharing for the specific whenever we are going for the process. In the process, I will share those datas. Um, so anybody have any questions? If I'm going for supplier management, I will be sharing those data for specific to supplier management. So that time we will discuss related to supplier management flow. And if I go to sourcing, I'll go for the sourcing flow.
Yeah, I have a question. What about pricing? Are we going to cover pricing module or where is it covered? Did I miss it?
Pricing. I haven't heard pricing. What is? I'm not sure. Pricing. You mean pricing
So
conditions?
when you're having your products or your supplies, when you're integrating it, right? When you're doing your guided buying,
Mm-hmm.
uh, where would the price of the products or where would it get integrated?
You mean quantity, price, you are asking about those things, right?
Correct.
So
Yes.
those things it will be covering in the downstream buying and invoicing. I mean, in the PR to PO, the supplier flow, end to end flow, you will be getting including those activities. That is not separately for pricing. So how we are configuring the user interfaces and how can we create the PR? So this is PR flow from PR to PO. So using that, how we are creating the requisition, it will have, while you're adding the requisition, you will have a quantity or price, and how it can be configured in the field, that we will see.
Okay.
It will be like you're asking about these things, right? How we are adding the card and how we are entering the prices and quantities, these things in the requisition level. So these are all specific field that we need to be configured. So it will be also added, Kavita.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. And anybody have any questions? Mirza, Kamar Mirza, any questions? If not, we'll start from SLP. Okay, let me start from SLP. Is this okay, the flow what I have shown? Because it is the entire business process flow starts from supplier. Why starting from supplier? These suppliers are needed for sourcing. Once sourcing is done, we may go for directly buying or we may go for the contract. It depends on the business. So once sourcing is done, we'll go for the contract. After that, we can go for the buying and invoicing. So we can use buying and invoicing or guided buying, or so these, once these are all the entire functionals along with the technical things. So these, each and every cloud solution, so these cloud solution, within cloud solution there is integration, that is something internal integrations, and it is going external systems. External system is something S4 or business network. So these integrations also we will see the different integration scenarios and about business network and all. So can we start supplier management today? And so it depends on your wishes, guys.
Yeah,
um,
we can start.
yes. And Alan, do you have any questions? Alan and Kamar.
No question right now, thank you.
Yes, Alan, your voice is not audible.
Oh, I was saying that I don't have any questions right now.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Okay. um okay, let's start with the business processes, and we'll see high level business process in some. Let's just begin with the business process, and I'll create and I will go for the backend configurations. So why I'm highlighting again business process is important, because in the requirement gathering, all the existing business persons will explain their existing process. I have done my supplier onboarding in my existing system like this. How you are going to do in your system? So you need to understand their existing business process and finding the gaps between their existing system to the new system. I mean, that is called as is process, and how you are going to be create the new process to be process. So we will be create doing these developments. So these activities we do in the um, everything, like if you're going for implementations, so in implementation you will be doing all the activity in the test environment. So we have two type of environment in cloud solution. So one is test environment and other one is production. But in SAP we have three different environment. One is for development system, and other one is for quality system, and other one is for production system. So SAP is on-premise, SAP is ERP, Ariba is cloud solution. SAP Ariba is SAP product to streamline the business procurement process. S4 HANA material management, also having business process, but there is a differences between HANA and Ariba. So SAP suggests mostly indirect procurement process have been taken care by Ariba, because Ariba is having benefits of supplier onboarding, supplier collaboration with third party systems, and supplier validations, supplier performance activity. So these activities are taken in Ariba Cloud efficiently and effectively. Um, Let me open the specific file. And SAP is providing certifications for the product by product. So if you're taking supplier management, they have given separate syllabus for supplier management and sourcing, contracts, buying and invoicing, and CAG. Apart from that CAG, we have one more certification for supply chain collaboration, that is separate module. So supply chain collaboration is something different that I will give you high level flow later. So these are all the activities we are going to learn in the upstream and downstream and CAG and S4 configurations, and some important T codes. So I have separate file for each and every processes with the useful links. How we use the, I mean, when you're working in the project, we can refer, this is Bible of supplier management. Like, we always, I mean, all the consultant always refer this when they are working in the projects. So to know additional features, if I'm working in the SLP implementation project, I will refer this implementation. I mean, I'll refer this setup guide, and I will take key points from this, and I will take best practice content from this, and I will go for the workshop. So this guide is applied to SLP module, SIPM module. So strategic sourcing suite means some sourcing activity, because strategic sourcing suite is a bundle. In this bundle, we have SLP and sourcing and contracts. So this guide I have added in the help portal. And how we manage the supplier life cycle, there is one more guide, and specific guide for SIPM module. And after that, some this is also standard SAP learning journey to provide the key content. I mean, if you want to know the keywords, whatever we are discussing, if you want to take a note of the keywords, so we can refer this. So identifying the supplier management solutions. In the market, SAP is providing these three solutions: SIPM, SLP, supplier risk. We need to understand the features of each solution, because that is main important, and we are the one who explain the product features and functions to the business when we are working in the implementation project. So we will not directly go and talk to them orally. We will prepare the workshop, I mean, we will prepare the presentation about the supplier features and functions, benefits, and we will present in front of the business team. The decision is ultimately taken by business. SAP Customer Engagement Executive or SAP Shared Services Partner will be along with us to help until the product is finalized. So this is something in the beginning we do for each and every module. So we need to know every product features and functions specifications. So for that a time, we do not go for it um, to know the things in outside the market. Within SAP, this is standard SAP site, and SAP itself providing the own data. So these datas I will, so I have compiled these datas in module by module. So this is SLP module, and in the SLP notes, what are the things we need to refer to understand. And comparing the features and functions for the supplier management solutions. So so these are all the features we have. So this 360 profile management dashboard and contact dashboard reporting activity, these are all the common features which is applicable for which system. So these things we need to know. Mm, so I will show this. So I will share these things uh, in the, I mean, I will share it with to Sana or Pallavi, so they will share this thing to you guys. um, let's go in the function by function. um, First let me do the functional activity and we'll see the backend thing. Let me log in Ariba. So this is Ariba dashboard. In, I mean, this is Ariba cloud solution. This is one area. If I talk, wait, 1 second. If I go to paint, I'll take one just to give high level understanding. This is something called Ariba cloud solution. So in this Ariba cloud solution, we have two streams. So one is upstream and other one is downstream. So these all, we call them Ariba cloud solutions, or we can call the Ariba on demand, and that is the one which I have logged in now. This is Ariba cloud solution. In this Ariba cloud solution, we enable CAG to integrate this cloud solution with ERP. If I take one more, this is CAG. This is something called cloud integration gateway. So cloud integration gateway is the old name. Now it is renamed as managed gateway for spend and business network. So we call them managed gateway for spend and network, formerly known as CAG. And we have SAP ERP. On the other hand, we have SAP ERP. Let's differentiate this. This is SAP ERP. Let's consider S4 HANA. So this SAP ERP will hold the master data. So master data are, we have organizational data, accounting data, supplier data. So we have around 50 plus master data. So we will discuss those things. And this payment functions also will be happen in S4 HANA payment functions. So to now these all separate. We have one more solution, that is business network.
Uh, I have one doubt. Can I ask you?
Yes.
So the master data, whenever you are referring, the complete master data will be there in S4. We don't have any master data at Ariba end.
No, we don't have master data in Ariba. We have certain master data in Ariba, which is source of truth. For example, commodity code. SAP S4 HANA will not have a commodity code, rather
Material,
than it is having material group.
correct.
So Ariba, we have a commodity code as a master data. On the other hand, suppliers are created in Ariba. Sourcing projects are created in Ariba. Contracts are created in Ariba. Purchase requisition, purchase orders are created in Ariba. So those are all some datas. It is maybe transactional data. We call them transactional data. But Specific master data, most of the master data are placed in S4 system.
I have one more doubt here. Like,
Yes.
uh, before S4 integration or before SAP acquired Ariba, then how the master data used to take care in Ariba end? Because now SAP has collaborated integrations between Ariba and the S4, and we are getting all the related master data from S4, whatever you are talking. But
Mhm.
before that, how it used to be handled in
I
Ariba?
mean, since 2012, SAP is taken Ariba. So SAP acquired Ariba. So before 2012, Ariba is not that much scope in the market, and
Okay.
Ariba cloud solution will never have a master data. Definitely, Ariba should be integrated with third-party ERP or SAP ERP.
Okay.
Now S4, before S4 it was ECC, and also Oracle also provide master data.
Okay. You
So
mean say Oracle, like how S4 is connected now with Ariba, like that Oracle also
same
is.
way, yeah, Oracle also can be connected. So that is something different integration scenario. But here we will be learning cloud solution is integrating with S4 HANA using CAG. If it is Oracle, we will not have CAG. Instead of CAG, we will have a cloud platform integration CPI or SAP PI or PO, something mediated connectivity. So this is something direct connectivity. What we are doing is, so this is direct connectivity. I mean direct integration. We are not using any medium connectivity or middlewares. So this is CAG. Through CAG, S4 is connecting. So if organization wanted Ariba as well as Oracle, that time that is called SAP Cloud Application integrated with other ERP, non-SAP ERP. We do have non-SAP ERP related functions also. We will see something high level, not in depth, because
Okay.
we are learning this cloud solution. Whatever we are learning is in the cloud. Integration scenario, any one integration scenario is required to know.
So precisely in Ariba Cloud, we are taking care of sourcing and
Entire,
contracts.
entire business process.
Okay.
Ariba is useful to create streamline entire procurement process. Start with sourcing, contract, sourcing, contract, and buying and invoicing. Supplier management is something associating with the process. Without suppliers, this cannot be done.
So when we say supplier management, is nothing but vendor identification. Right?
Vendor onboarding, but we do have specific process for vendor onboarding.
Okay.
We do have specific qualifications. There is something preferred supplier management, and we have identifying supplier risk, evaluating supplier performance. So these all required in the business process. Let's say I'm signing contract with 1 million USD for one specific product with only one supplier. I cannot take risk to give that it to the supplier. So I will evaluate the supplier in many ways. Or they have any ESG certified or ESG holder, or they certified with ISO? Do they have any cases, something in the back end when they are established? So we have some real time checking, back end checkings with the suppliers in Ariba.
Mm-hmm.
So we evaluate them and we continuously monitor their performance. After giving $1 million project, that doesn't mean they are free. Every quarter, we will evaluate their performance. If they are not performing well, we find alternate suppliers. So these things are handled in supplier management.
Okay.
So it is compared to other cloud applications or solutions in the market. We have so many applications. Workday is now growing, and Coupa is already there. Oracle is also having their own procurement tool. But why customers are preferring SAP product? Because SAP product is safe and secure. That is, other than safe and secure, it is having advanced features and functions to run their business in using SAP tool. So those activity we do to streamline the procurement process, and we try max to max automating the business process with less interventions. So here in SAP Business Network is something we have two network. One is buyer network and another one is supplier network. That is what we have seen now. Buyer network. So if you go to Chrome and enter buyer.ariba.com, that is for buyer network and this is for supplier network. So in this supplier network we have supplier.ariba.com. If you log in here, so around 6 million suppliers are connected into SAP Business Network. As of 2025, we have 60 lakh suppliers are connected in the SAP Business Network in real time. So now you guys can ask question: what is the how SAP is earning? This year SAP's annual turnover crossed 3 billion. 2025. So SAP expecting cloud revenue, I think, yeah, 30 billion. 33 billion USD, I remember I read somewhere. So SAP is now emerging as the topmost uh, software platform providing and like attracting Fortune 500 companies. And SAP is using like so their SAP have two powerful procurement tool. One is Ariba is a cloud and HANA is a on-premise. So SAP is suggesting to use Ariba cloud solution for their indirect procurement activities, and something they are developing direct activities also, direct material spending. But it is not yet reached that high. So they are doing something for the direct, that is product sourcing, direct spend management, but it is not reached that much high. So this product sourcing is something for bill of materials. I mean integrating with S4 system, but direct material sourcing. So they have this AML and all. This is something they're making more advanced in cloud solution. But we will learn this when we get an opportunity in the real time. But I will give some high level thing about this direct sourcing and all. Um, okay. Before going, yes. So this area parallelly we have to work to configure the things. So now this all open ended. It is not interconnected. So consultant primary task is to interconnect this. S4 is one side, CAG is one side, cloud is one side, business network is one side. We have to interconnect depends on the business process. That is the one, let's say, mm, yeah, this interconnection between Ariba network, buying and invoicing in ERP system. That means we are using buying and invoicing in a cloud solution, ERP system for master data, business network for PO, PR, invoicing activity, grouping activity, and some configurations we do. Though these are all open, how we are interconnecting this, we need to know. I mean, flow, message or information flow from one system to other system. What are the backend configurations we do? So this is primary to understand. Okay, let me add that screenshot in the document. I am not able to edit. Okay, we will see that. Third May discussions. So is this clear, guys? Any questions? We will look this how it is being integrated. Solution by solution we will discuss. But these are all the area we are going to work, and these are all the area we need to know.
So, Manoj, one small doubt here, right?
Yeah.
In SAP, we have greenfield, brownfield implementations kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Where
Yes. Yeah.
we complete implementation and where
Yeah.
it will enhance the current implementations. So, like that in Ariba also, we have same
Yes. 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 Yes.
greenfield and brownfield.
Yes. So
Okay.
let me add that. So that is
So,
something.
whatever the picture that you are showing now, it depicts the greenfield process, right?
Yes, this is, see, we need to understand the greenfield implementation process. If
Okay.
you know from the scratch how to construct the house from the basement, then you know how to add one more floor, or how to extend the houses. So adding one more floor, extend the houses, or something, green field, brown field, or blue field, or rollout.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining the entire house is something for support project. So kind of like, if you understand the greenfield scenario, you'll be able to work anywhere. This is
Mm.
something end-to-end implementation scenario.
Okay.
Hi, Manoj, it's Kamar.
Yeah, hi
So,
Kamar. Yeah.
yes, so you're talking about, can I go to the back sheet? Yeah. So this is Ariba Cloud Solution and Ariba on Demand. So we're gonna work all of that, our preparation
Yes.
of project on that, and
Yes.
then this manage gateway, these path we're gonna use to connect with the ERP or S4HANA if we need anything to connect with the cloud solution.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Cloud solution have two databases. Cloud
Yes.
solution upstream have one
Yes.
database, downstream have one database,
Right.
and datas are sending from HANA to cloud through this
Got
gateway.
exactly. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So we need to do SPRO config in S4. We need to do integration project in CAG, and we have to configure some activities in upstream and downstream in integration manager.
So I learned as for HANA. So it's gonna help me like creating data in here.
Sorry, come again.
I got the training on as for HANA. I know some stuff on that to how to create master data, these kind of stuff. So it's gonna help me to on this module too.
I'm not sure because
Okay.
in S4 HANA we have many way, like, but sending. So there is one important task: sending master data, sending required master data from SAP ERP to Ariba Cloud, Ariba on demand application.
Yes.
So this is important one. This is something called master data replication. So in this master data replication, we have so many configurations. So here, Ariba is providing, I mean SAP is providing standard ABAP program. That is
Got it.
ARB CAG underscore master underscore data underscore export. So this is standard program is being used to send entire master data. So I have the screenshots in my real-time project that I will share. So this is something. So I'm not sure if you have learned this, how to do the master data export program, how to configure this, and how we schedule the job.
So
How
this
we
is
do.
what, Manoj, you're referring in S4, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So that's what, yeah, from SAP ERP S4 HANA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
S4 HANA, from HANA to Ariba. Master data are sending. So I think I have separate file for master data replication. I'm not sure. I think I have the file end-to-end master data replication. So I will check that file and I'll share that also. How do we do background job? So basis team will schedule the background job, scheduling background jobs and all. So some T codes we will be using and some T codes we should know, but again we'll see that one by one. Otherwise we will be diverting from one topic to other topic. Let's stick to the topic. So this is what we do cover
All
for
right, thank
master data. And other than that, we have some separate node for master data integration. Master data integration, this node is something. If navigation is SPRO transaction, enter the SPRO transaction, and after that SAP reference IMG, and after SAP reference IMG, integration with other components. So if we go to integration with other components in reference IMG, we have two different name. Either it may be CAG name or managed gateway for spend and business network. It depends on the SAP release version, what software component you are using, what support package you are using. Managed gateway for spend and network. So here, if you go to managed gateway for spend and network, we have so many options. So like global settings and all three integrations: sourcing integration, procurement integration, and I think in the last demo session I have shown this, um, business network integration. So these integration as well as master data integration, then master data native integration. So these activities we do in S4 side, and we have so many tables need to be accessed, that also we will see. um yeah. Now, um, is this clear till now, guys? So where we are going to work,
you.
this is
Yes.
the area we are going to work. We need to know how to interconnect this. Vice versa anyway, it from cloud to ERP or ERP to cloud, or buyer network to cloud, or buyer network to ERP, or ERP to buyer network. So these three medium: cloud, business network, ERP, using CAG. That is why whenever we are going to CAG, let me, yeah, if you go to CAG, one second, let me log in. CAG managed administration integration manager, managed gateway for spend and business network, CAG. The integration projects can be created for three products. If I create new integration project, you can see the product name Ariba network. Ariba network is something. Ariba network is something for, this is the one. This is the Ariba network, one product. Another product is sourcing and procurement. This is the sourcing and procurement product. I mean procurement for downstream, for buying and invoicing activity, and sourcing for supplier management, sourcing and contract. If I select one product, SLP integration project, then if I go to connections, so I can have an option to create the connections. If I create connections, is since this is Ariba product that what we are using with SAP ERP, we are installing add-ons in the SAP marketplace. So we use always add-on project. Transport type is add-on. Here we can use separate instances. So these are all the connections, which environment, or we can select both test or production, and we have to mention the S4 system name. S4, like for example, development system S4, client 100, and system id, we can select the system id, and we have so many documents. So these BP replication, business partner replication, contract request, PIR, court message. So these are all the standard interfaces from one system to other system. So these replicate request, confirmation request for supplier management. This is something standard interface. So here we will not select specific document. We will select entire project, and we keep document any document, and we have to maintain the domain name test acig.ariba.com. Something this domain name can be provided by basis, and port number 442, 443, and client id 100, and location id we have to select the specific location id, and authentication type, which authentication we are using in SM59, the same authentication we need to provide here. So here also basic authentication, and specify the username p user id, and the same p user id we have to give tech s4 ariba, and entering the password for the specific s4, then save the connection. So the connection will be created, new connection will be created. So this is the way. So this connection is required. So this connection is already exists, so I'm getting issues of creating. So this is way creating new connection, and after that, or we can use existing connection for the integration. So this once connection is established and added into the system, mappings are not required for add-ons. So let's go. Mapping are not required, and cross reference. If we have any specific mapping, then we can mention it. So this something to document by default it is getting selected, and any UIM template. If you want to do something like these are all the UIM from Ariba side, and S4 side if it is something different UIM we have to do the UIM mapping. After that, specific lookup tables if it is required, and realm ID. So this realm ID is this 400124 is Professor RSA app upstream realm ID.
So one word here, sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
We
yes,
talk
yes.
about real ID. Like in S4, we have what do I say? Dev
System
system,
ID,
dev
system
system.
ID, yeah. Dev system ID and client system, client ID.
Okay, so here realm ID means it's a
Product,
one
I
of
mean upstream realm, downstream realm. Actually, um, in Ariba, let me, um, yeah. So as I said, Ariba is completely URL based. SAP is completely system based. So
correct.
in this URL, we have two environment. So in this environment, we have test environment, production environment. So this environment will have two sites. In the test, we have parent site. So parent site is having parent realm, parent realm, and child site will have a child realm. I mean, we have a child realm ID. In our example, our system parent realm ID. So here parent realm ID is 400124. So that is parent realm ID. So child realm ID, it may be some same different IDs. So this is something we need to understand. Site specific. So these are all child site will have a uh, uh, child realm. Multiple child realm can be created. Realm is something different URL. It will be keep on updating. For example, now when I connected the system, this is the logo in the site. If I click this, now I'm going for the parent site. This is Professor RSA desktop app something for parent site. If I navigate the same site, the same application for child one, they have only one child. If I click this, it will take me to the child site. The URL remains changing. Now when I'm going to child, I'm getting the child realm. It is something buyer realm. If I go back to parent site, it will take me to parent realm, I mean sourcing realm. So I think I have in-depth notes about realm deployment strategy. I will share that in the next session. So this is something SAP Ariba cloud environment: test realm and production realm, parent site and child site. Multiple child site can be configured also. So production also we have the same way. And um, after that, in S4 system, sorry. Yeah, in S4 environment, S4 landscape is something different. S4 we have development system. So one development system will have many clients. So segregated by the client IDs. And quality system. So quality also will have many client IDs. And production system.
So here actually, when we correlate this
Mm-hmm.
realm to this development or quality,
Mm-hmm.
so now a parent realm and a child realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is significance of having two of them? Are they referring to any of the dev landscape of Ariba? Of I'm
No,
not,
no,
I'm
no.
confused.
Yes, see, uh, in Ariba environment, parent site, why SAP developed in this manner? No, parent site is something will contain the entire enterprise master data, enterprise wide master data. Child realm is for site specific master data. Why? Because let's say Hyundai is using Ariba, and Hyundai have two different business process: indirect procurement for raw material side, and one more indirect procurement activity for other selling side or something. So if they have two child realm, that is something multi ERP, not like dev quality and all. So parent site is will keep enterprise wide master data. I have let me open multi ERP configuration. You will get to know. So this is high level flowchart of multi ERP. Parent site, child site. This is for Ariba. Parent site will have enterprise wide information. Child site will have a site specific information. Let's consider if organization is using two different ERP, and different ERP data will be sending it to the parent site. That is common shared data. But I'm using the same data to create PRPO, site specific ERP1 data, ERP2 data. That is something called site specific. That is why we have parent site and child site. Um, so you will get good understanding when we are working, but as of now we just need to know this high level.
Simple in simple way, what I can understand, like if you have multiple ERPs, we
Mhm.
can have multiple chains
Child
connecting,
sites, yeah.
each child connecting to one of the ERPs, right?
Yes, yes. So there again, if we have multiple childs, we have one more option in this master data export program, something called FPC enabled. So FPC is something federated process control. So you know, right? India is federal government, one union, multiple states. India is one, and states are different, but it is controlled by India. But some controls are provided by the state. India is federal government. The same way, this SAP upstream is federal one. Downstream, each and every unit they will have their own site specific data. So this is something federated process control. We need to enable this FPC enabled. Then we have to mention the specific child site when we are using multiple child site, so that the master data will be sending for each and every site specific data. So this is something information I'm giving. What is FPC enabled? Okay, now is this clear, guys?
Yeah, yeah, it's as you mentioned. Probably once we get more into the system, we'll get more
Yeah.
details.
Yes. Um, so the same multi RP configurations in the downstream we will use this. So here we can see Realm can be integrated with single accounting systems or multiple accounts. So like, let's see, Realms is the data model. So we have a variants in the ERP systems. So variant can be generic variant or SAP variant or PeopleSoft variant. So we use the realms and mention the same data they are giving here also. The same, I mean, this is something the same whatever I have taken the snip, the same snip they will be giving. Parent site, child sites, child specific data for multi ERPs. The same screenshots I have been taken and kept it in the notes.
So in landscape point of view also, Manoj, as you mentioned, in Ariba we have only quality and prod, right? No dev.
No, test and production in
Test.
Ariba.
Yeah. Okay.
In the environment, we have test and production. Not only in SAP, we have dev quality production.
Okay. So whatever the configurations that we will do deploy, we'll do in the test system, right?
Yes, yes. All the configurations. I mean, if you are going for the implementation project, last 1 month or last 3 months, you will have production access. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of the time, you will be only using test system to develop, and you move from test to production manually. Something moving, SAP will help to move from test to production. Not like in this environment SAP, we ask basis to move. They will create one transport request and move from one system to other system. But here we have to do these things in Kator activities. I will take this updated snip.
So are these configuration captured? What do I say? We have in S4 transport request kind of thing, right? So
No, like no, however, like in Ariba, we will not capture whatever developments we are doing. So we will move manually. Certain things can be moved automatically. We will see this. We will see that what can be moved automatically and all.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, now if you guys are clear understanding about this, then we can go ahead for the learning in the Ariba. We need to know these things. The landscape, this is something high level landscape interconnected with the ERP to do any business process, any industry, any specific industries. So we will work these areas only. So now if you go and check some JDs, for example, you will be able to see I have taken some JDs for reference. So everywhere we use the cloud solutions. So this cloud solution is something same name for on demand, and we should know design, setting up the interfaces, configurations, customizations, system integrations, trainings. So these things we need to know, and we should know best practice content and project methodology. So so for example, if I open the SLP setup guide, um, Here I have opened SLP setup guide. Yeah. In this setup guide, SAP will provide best practice content. If I search best practice, general best practice for integration, site best practices, configuration best practices, and default best practice content for supplier request, default best practice content for internal supplier request, and best general best practices for supplier management. So these best practices we should know, and we should intimate in the uh, workshop. These are all the SAP best practice, we can follow the same. So these things we should know. And as I said, data extractions from existing systems, we should know data management and how we are doing the mapping in the custom mapping and all. So we should know these things. And apart from that, this is something specially for only CAG. So let me, I don't know where it is. So CAG, whatever we are going to learn, that is more than enough. But CAG, we should know CAG mappings. We should know design, develop, configure, deploy integrations using managed gateway. I mean through CAG, and setting up the custom routing rules. So this is something transformations and custom routings, troubleshooting the issues, monitoring the identification, some CAG performance, how we do the CAG transaction tracker, how we troubleshoot, and providing the support related. This is other job description I have taken, and this is for only buying and invoicing. This project is for only buying and invoicing. So all the organizations, they will expect you worked on implementation projects. Why they are expecting implementation project experience? But because nowadays organizations are hiring for a pool, they will hire it and they will keep you on a bench. As soon as they get the project, or as soon as they have another alignments, they will place you, they will align you for the specific area. So either buying and invoicing area or supplier management area. But these guys are expecting end-to-end knowledge, because they may place you any project. So that is why they are expecting end-to-end implementation experience. So that is why I am also concentrating on the same way. We should know the implementation experience, what they are doing in the implementations, what are the activity we do in the implementation. um, So mostly you can see this is the roles they're asking: implementation experience, strong experience in buying and invoicing module. That is something: requirement gathering, fit gap analysis, system configuration, customization, cutover activity, go live. So these are all implementation area, and setting up the workflows, and experience in P2P and invoicing. Knowledge, why they're asking, it may be for supply chain collaboration, because planning, implementations, configurations, cutover, they keep on repeating the same data. So these things we do. And important area is again documentation preparation. So we have many type of documentation: functional documentation, and technical documentations, and test script, preparing test scripts. So these documentations we only prepare in the implementation project. Support project is something kind of solving the incidents. Queries can be raised, support consultant will review the flow, and they will try to troubleshoot. If they within specific SLA, they will solve the issues. So but they may place you in support project also, but they will ask this end to end.
So a typical Ariba greenfield implementation project is how on average how much how many days or how many months that will
Yeah,
be.
yeah. So Implementation, it depends on the scale, what scale, which business scale we are going to work. So in implementations, let's consider greenfield for small scale industries. Okay, minimum 8 months to 1 year. Minimum 8 months to 1 year for small scale. If it is for large scale, 1 year, 1 to 2.5 years they will take for the implementation activity, one project. Then after, because implementation cycle is something starting from preparation, so we will discuss that in later. Because preparation, realize, build, after building, testing, after testing going for the technical configurations and technical go live. So if we are using Jira, no, we will have so many. So I will come up with the requirement and I will show that how it will be. So I have some requirement data. We will see that and we will look into it. So it will take approx 8 months to 1 year and 1 to 2.5 years. But the twist part is something, whoever is implementing, for example, I'm the person, I mean Accenture is implementing Ariba to Hyundai. Okay, but let's consider any other third party. LTI Mindtree is doing support projects to Hyundai. Because usually Hyundai is giving a bidding activity, Accenture got selected, and implemented the Accenture implemented the product. Hyundai can ask Accenture to do the support role, but these guys will charge more. So tier 2 organizations, they will ask for the opportunities, and tier 2 sectors will do the support projects. Usually like this. You can ask one more question. Product owner is SAP. SAP is the owner of Ariba. Why can't SAP itself implementing it to the Hyundai? Cost is high, service cost is more. Service cost of implementation is double than licensing cost. As far as I know, implementation from SAP is too high. So SAP itself recommend their partners to support implement. I mean to implement their product to customer. So that is why service sectors are getting the projects in the market from the organizations and implementing and supporting. So here there is one more thing. So this is something example of service sectors, but there is something product based. In product based, we have every organization, they don't trust these guys to implement, because business users also don't know about Ariba. So whatever they are telling, that is the one. But that is why every product base, they'll keep one mediator. That guy is SME, subject matter expert, and they will call them architect. I mean solution architect. So he is the face of business users. So let me open one more tab. So how it will works, I am the product owner. So I am a product owner, and these guy are the deliverable guys, and I'll keep one more person in between. So he is the SME. So now, um, let's consider Accenture is going to implement Ariba product to Hyundai. Let's see, if Accenture is going to implement Ariba product to Hyundai, so they will have their own functional lead, deployment lead, and technical team. So they will quote the estimation time. So if they are using what type of solution manager they are using, either Jira or ServiceNow, or using SAP solution manager, or they are using, all the organizations now, these service organizations are using their activate methodology. So based on that activate methodology, they will estimate the sprint. So they will calculate the sprint, and they will deliver the product to the business. So business side, that is why business will always keep one known person, kind of mediator. So business team will have a business users. So sourcing lead. So let's see, global sourcing lead and chief procurement officer, CPO, and um, other technical team members. So this business team, they will explain their existing process. Okay, and what this architect will do, he is SME owned by Hyundai. SME hired by Hyundai. So he will be placed. So he became solution architect. So what these guy will do, these guy will have a entire of the Ariba product, control of Ariba product. So he will be always sitting with business team. So whatever business is providing the business process, he will understand, and he will ask to implement the new developments. So because business team, so they cannot give any false commitments, or they cannot say this is the best practice, we can't do anything, because these guys architect, so they know more than these guys. So that is why all the organizations, they will have SME. So it depends on the luck and the time. If you have experienced, and you may get hired for service sector to work on the customers, or you will be hired for the specific product based also. This is something, like roles and responsibilities we will get it. And most of the organizations, they will keep the architect always till the business is there, because support projects teams also, because they will keep on do some rollouts, some changes, or some upgradations. So they will keep their organizations. Hmm. So till now, any question, guys, about the projects, about the product, and
No, no,
about the implementation support?
one question actually. Uh,
Is
process is uh, now the requirements will be given by the client, and then we'll create functional specs, and then on top of the technical specs will be created. Is this the process we follow in Ariba as well?
yes, yes, let me show that here. 1 second, I don't know where that requirement workbook. ADP activity plan. not this. 1 second. Let me take that specific data so that it will be easy to explain and understand from both sides. Yes. Because everything we have a standard report workbook. Somewhere I have updated. Yeah, in downloads. It may be in downloads. Workbook. Default properties, best practice. Not here. ARIBA procurement, master data, custom admin, sourcing, contract. Let me take those things. Um, I have that business requirement workbook. So using that business requirement workbook, we will gather the requirement. Requirement is nothing but the business process. Like what will have no. So so like how it will be as a when I create sourcing project, I want this task to be enabled. So like that the requirement will be in the statement. So we understand the statement and we develop something in the system. So that is your question, Nasuman.
Uh, w- so
Like in
what I was trying to say, like let us assume now in SAP we have business will give business requirements
yeah.
that we
So how the
consider.
requirements you will get it in SAP? Either
Sorry.
in change request something or in the process flow in the system.
Yeah, first there will be business requirements document from then we can call it as probably a ARB document, and then
Yeah, requirement workbook. Yeah.
to functional specs,
Yeah.
which completely functional team will prepare the functional aspect, and then it will they will convert to technical specs where developers will add the technicalities what are all need to implement
Paddy,
for.
Bappy, or something more
Yeah,
configuration
yeah.
activity they have done.
So here in Ariba, as we are going through, right, I could
Hmm.
find there is no coding aspects, right? We are
No,
only
no, there
doing,
is no coding. It is nothing. There is no coding. It is
yeah,
something because yes, yes, yes. Come again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're only going ahead with the related configurations, probably CIG interfaces, or else related master data replications, all these things, right? So
Yes,
uh, these configurations, everything we are considering here as a technical spec documents, or all this
yes,
will be part of
yes,
functional
yes, yes.
spec
These
document.
all considered as a technical thing, and
Okay.
we prepare the documents. We prepare the document for the specific what all the activity we have done. Same rise of how we are doing rise of elements.
Hmm.
The same way we prepare, for example, I'm doing supplier enhancement. So what I do, I will prepare enhancement 261 or enhancement 262. And what I do in that enhancement, what is the functional spec and what is the technical consideration, what I have done in Ariba and what I have done in ERP, what I have done in CAG to do that specific enhancement. For example, filtering the data or synchronizing the supplier between Ariba to S4. So we prepare interface element or enhancement element, kind of rise up. Those are all rise up objects. Na? The same way we prepare the documents. What activity we done, technical considerations also will be available, functional context also will be available, and acceptance, how they accepted, how business accepted, what are the criteria accepted, So those acceptance criteria also will be available, and how error handling method, how it is getting triggered, how we are handling the errors, what are the users involved for the specific. So we prepare same kind of rise of document.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we prepare. So that's why, like, we need to, apart from the process, we need to understand the landscape of the business process, high level landscape, so that questions will be asked in the same way during interview. And obviously you will learn when you get into the project, there is no doubt. Once you get into the project, you will spend entire time in the specific project, and you will get hands on and learn end to end.
Uh,
Yeah. Guys, anybody have any questions? Let's start the, because why I'm taking this entire session, from next session onwards we won't discuss these things. We will only discuss on the process, project, scenarios. That's all. Specific supplier management scenarios, supplier management functionalities, and technicalities, or all the configurations we do in the multiple systems. So we do only those activities. So let's end up all the things today. Anybody have any questions, guys? Alan, Kavita, Kamar, any questions? You guys understand the landscape? I will upload this
Yeah,
doc. Yeah.
yeah, I'm good. Thanks for the very good session. So yeah, this Word, Excel, and then I saw you sharing a master data document as well, an Excel spreadsheet.
Yes,
Will
yes.
we
So
have
every
access to
end,
it?
yeah, I will share those. Yeah, product by product. Once we complete supplier management solution, then I will share the specific technical things, whatever I have done in my real time projects.
Okay, okay,
This is something I will discuss only real time based projects, not scenario. I mean, not in assumptions.
all right. Thanks, Manoj.
Yeah, thanks, Kavita. And Helen, Kamar, any questions or queries?
so
No
Manoj,
question. Thank
if
you.
you have any doubts, right, we can send out a questionnaire to email kind of thing. Is that so that we
No,
can
you
discuss?
can.
With,
Yes, that's what we have a email. I'll share that email. You can send an email. So I'll request Sana to share the email ID to you guys. We
yeah.
can communicate in the email. We have our organization email, so we can use that email and we can do the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. And mostly we won't, like, doubts and all, we can discuss in the session. You can sum it up when you're practicing. If you're getting some issues, you sum it up and try to, guys, like, it is not possible that you can view the recordings later and all. So whenever we are completing certain process, at least try to view once within a week, and practice at least once or twice. So that will help you to understand the concepts, because here there is nothing technical codings and all. Everything is a functional thing, and some navigation we need to understand, and some best practice contents for supplier management, on the same way for sourcing, on the same way for contract and buying and invoicing. So integration is common for all, across all solutions.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
So system access, did they share? Did whom we need to refer for system access, Manoj? I think I didn't
Sorry,
get.
access.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can contact Sana or Pallavi, I think,
Okay.
or Iraj.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, and Alan, yeah, you're trying.
And I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And Kamar, any questions or queries? Um. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Let's connect tomorrow same time. Um.
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you for your.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.